Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. At some point or another, we've all used these apps before. Whether it was to catch up with friends, whether it was to post vacation pictures, or whether it was to scroll for 2 hours when you only wanted to scroll for 10 minutes. That was me for most of my life, and I wanted to make a change. So, I decided to delete it all. And here's how that impacted my life. I'm also adding some of my old TikToks at the end of this video, so to save me from the cringe that was freshman year of college Manny, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more. So, I was officially off of social media of November of 2021. That's when I decided to delete my Twitter, my Snapchat, and my Instagram accounts. And I had already deleted TikTok before then. That was a lockdown casualty because there was too many nights where I was staying up until 2 in the morning recording TikToks. But even after I decided to delete TikTok during lockdown, I still had those other apps and I was spending a lot of time on them. And it all started way back in middle school. 6th grade was when I made my first social media page. It was my Instagram account and the username was man12312. I could not tell you where the 12312 came from, but 6th grade Manny thought it was a genius move. From there, it evolved to Twitter, Snapchat, and then eventually TikTok. Now, I wouldn't say I was addicted per se to social media, but I was definitely pulling my weight and being part of the average American who spent more than 1,300 hours on social media per year. That would be like scrolling for over 54 days straight. That's a lot of scrolling. And I'm pretty sure you would be the thumb wrestling champion of the world if you were doing that. Now, while 1,300 hours is a lot of time, not all of it was spent of just scrolling through meme pages. Some of that time was used to meet people that I would eventually be going to college with, or send memes to friends and laugh at them even though they completely made no sense, but they were still hilarious. Now, even with those good things, there also came some negative in those 1,300 hours as well. Along with the amount of time that I was spending on social media, another big thing was what I was seeing. I'm sure we all know and heard that what you see on social media definitely isn't reality. It's picked and curated for those social media feeds. But even while knowing that, it doesn't change the reality that if you see that over and over again, that perception can turn into the perceived reality. Whether you're an athlete who sees a bunch of powerlifters with six-packs and huge muscles, or you're a single person and you see a couple on a perfect date for the 4th time that week. And even while knowing that it's not the actual day-to-day of their lives, it can still affect how you see and how you think your day-to-day should be. And that can lead to comparison to if what you're doing is right, if who you are is right, if how you look is right, and if all those things are enough, and if what you're doing, how you look is enough. And that can be a dangerous mindset to get into. And being completely transparent, there's been times where when I was on social media that I definitely got into that mindset and I needed to change that. And that's a huge trap. It can make you think that if you're not living like that, if you don't look like that, then that means you're not living life right, which is a completely wrong mindset. An article from Penn Medicine talked about this with Assistant Professor of Psychiatry Jeremy Tyler saying, "It can be challenging to take a step back and recognize that what is being posted isn't reality. Many assume that people with those perfect photos don't have problems, but they do. It's important to remember that the people behind the lens are just as stressed and nervous as everyone else. Everybody suffers at some point or feels less than perfect. Social media expression is inherently biased because very few people aim to post about their flaws." It's not all doom and gloom though. As I mentioned before, there were many positives that I had while being on social media. I got to meet and talk with new and old friends alike, even if I didn't have their phone number. I got to see things that made me laugh, especially if I needed to pick up during some of the rougher times. I was inspired in a positive light to change something that I know needed to be changed in my life, and I also got inspiration on what that could look like, how I could do it, and that it was possible in general. And sometimes I did just want some time just to de-stress, just to not think about anything, just to give myself time to relax and just do something that didn't take a lot of mental effort. So with those positives, why did I end up deleting my social media? So for me personally, I didn't really have a big use for it anymore. Well, the things I mentioned about the negatives of social media in general, yes, I was actually staying up till 2 a.m. every night watching TikToks pretty much. It became less and less part of my life in general. I generally wasn't using it that much during the school years anyway. I was really only using it during the breaks. And I was also kind of using it as a crutch with some of my friendships, I would say, and see them on Instagram. Be like, oh, they're fine, they're on vacation, they're doing well. And I wasn't reaching out to my friends as much as I probably should have been. By saying, oh yeah, I'm just seeing them on social media, they're posting on Snapchat, they're posting on Instagram, they just made a really funny TikTok, so they're fine. And I thought that as I would leave social media, as I decided to get rid of all my social media, that it would be hard to stay in touch or stay connected with them. Or even stay updated in the trends in general. But my friends still let me know what the trends are. Like the word Riz, that's still a thing, right? No, I'm just messing. I'm not a boomer just yet. And by just yet, I mean far from it. But honestly, out of all of that, the main reason why I decided to get rid of them is just because I didn't have a desire to use social media anymore. Now, are there times that I wish I still did have Instagram so I could scroll for 10 minutes and then look up and realize it's actually been an hour instead? For sure. But with that time that I would have spent doing that, I've also had more times to spend on other hobbies, such as making music, or reading, or watching YouTube, or just relaxing and letting my imagination run. And is it also going to be harder for me to stay in contact with my friends now that I'm done with college? Of course. But because I got rid of it a while back, I've also been a lot more responsible and intentional and proactive in reaching out to my friends, especially since I'm not seeing them every day on social media and in real life. So while I do miss things about social media, it would never write it off as saying that it's all bad. The lack of it has also helped me grow in other areas of my life as well. So, it's been over a year without me having social media, and how do I feel about it? Well, it's honestly been easier than I thought. Like I said before, I really was only using it during the breaks and I wasn't really using it as much during the school year. So now it's just not having social media during the breaks. So in the grand scheme of things, not really that much of a time change. And plus, it saves me money because I wasn't going to spend $8 on Twitter Blue anyway. Sorry, Elon. It was a great journey having social media. And who knows, maybe I'll be back on it one day. Maybe, maybe not. But what I do know is something that I picked up before I got rid of social media and something that really helped me was journaling. And I made a video about the benefits of journaling. I'll link that video up here. And if you guys have deleted social media or still are on it, let me know your experience with it down below. I really want to know how it's either changed your life, how it's helped your life, maybe if it's negatively impacted your life. Let me know if you found this video interesting, and until next time, blessings. Music make you lose control. Music make you